Hello everyone, this is Dr. Rajendra More and today we are going to discuss the production technology for guava. So guava is very important fruit plant in case of the tropical and subtropical regions, and the botanical name of guava is Pseudium gojava, and this belongs to the family Myrtaceae, and the native place of guava is Peru, and also this is very hardy crop. This is drought tolerant as well as the salt tolerant and very hardy crop. Fruit type is berry, that is the simple fruit, and also have the multiple seeds in that. So based on ethylene production, guava is known as climacteric type fruit. So guava in Hindi is known as amrut. So this is the one of the most common fruits in India. So it ranks fourth in area and production in India. So fourth rank after mango, banana, and citrus fruits. So it is a very hardy subtropical plant and prolific bearer. Prolific bearer, it means it fruit bearing it occurs round the year. So in India, it is commonly called as poor man's apple and also the apple of tropics. So widely naturalized in the country, Allahabad has the reputation of growing the best guava in the country as well as in the world. So Allahabad, this is a city in Uttar Pradesh. So one variety that evolved is naming Allahabad Sapeta is very important, and it has very good reputation for growing best guava in India as well as the other countries in the world. So in terms of the composition and usage, the fresh guava fruits are very rich in vitamin C content. So that is the around 100 to 260 milligrams per 100 gram. So in terms of the vitamin C content, the highest vitamin C content fruit is Barbados cherry. Then second one is amla. Then third most important source for vitamin C is guava. After that, lime, lemon, etc. And guava is also contain the vitamin A, vitamin B2, and minerals like calcium, phosphorus, and acidity is around 2.4%, carbohydrate 9 to 10%, and total soluble solids 13%. So pantothenic acids, riboflavin, thiamine, and niacin also rich source of pectin. So we can say the among all fruits, guava is very good source for pectin. So the fresh ripe fruits are used as table purpose, that is the salad, and fresh fruits are rich in pectin, and pectin is very important for jelly making. So the best quality jelly can be prepared only by guava. So fruits can be canned in sugar syrup or made into fruit butter, juice preparation, and in ice creams. So the leaves yield a dye, and also the other products has the medicinal value for curing of diarrhea. Soil and climate. So in terms of the soil requirement and climatic requirements, as you know, guava is very hardy. So it can be grown successfully in wide range of soils like light sandy loam, clay soils, deep, rich alluvial, or in terms of the soil pH range is 4.5 to 8.5, 8.2, 4.5 to 8.2. So we can say the pH range is very wide. So in large group of soils, guava plant can be grown. So it is the fruit crop of subtropical region, and the young plants are susceptible to drought and cold. The trees are very hardy and can withstand heat and prolonged drought. A cool winter induces heavy fruiting and produces good quality fruits. So we can say winter season is the best for heavy fruiting as well as the quality fruits. So the average rainfall is around 100 centimeter with uniform distribution is ideal for the guava production, and the optimum temperature lies between 23 to 28 degrees Celsius and can be grown up to 1500 meter above mean sea level. Then species, as you know, guava is Psidium gojava. So we can say genus for guava is Psidium, or genus Psidium has more than 100 species available. Some of important species are cultivated. So number one, Psidium gojava. And Psidium gojava, this species is very important, very popular, and it is the commercially cultivated species. Rest of them do produce fruits, but small size, inferior quality, and with high acid contents. Then second, Psidium guianense. So Goinia guava has small fruits with poor quality. Then Psidium guava variety aromaticum. So variety aromatic indicates this is the small and scented fruits. Aromaticum indicates for scented fruits. So I mean these fruits have very good aroma. Then Psidium pompiferum. So these fruits are round in shape, and Psidium pyriferum fruits are pear shaped. Then Psidium catilianum, the strawberry guava with round red fruits. Then Psidium threadrix stellianum. So this one have the acid content high heavy in these fruits. Or in terms of the varieties, so varieties and their characteristics. So number one is L49, that is known as Lucknow 49, and also known as the Sardar guava. So this variety have semi-dwarf tree, and this is a chance seedling selection from Allahabad Sapeda. So the chance seedling was selected from Allahabad Sapeda in 1927 in Pune. And who selected the chance seedling plants? Dr. Chima in Pune. So second most important variety is Allahabad Sapida, that is very popular in UP, and in Allahabad region has the very good reputation. Banarsi, sweetest guava, then Harija, fruit bearing, I mean the fruit bearing occurs most often. Chitidar, better keeping quality. So among the all variety, Chitidar variety is excellent in terms of the better keeping quality. Apple color tree is medium in size, approximately 4 to 5.2 meter in height. Then Baraipur, commercial cultivar of West Bengal. Other varieties are Hapsi, Allahabad Round, Allahabad Surkha, Saharanpur, Seedless, Nagpur Seedless, Red Fleshed, Seedless, Kohir, and Lalit and Shweta. So similarly, some hybrids also available in guava like Safed Jam, Allahabad Safeda into Kohir, that is the RFRS Sangareddy, Andhra Pradesh, and Kohir Safeda, that is the cross between Kohir and Allahabad Safeda, and that was released from RFRS Sangareddy, Andhra Pradesh, and hybrid one, that is the cross between seedless and Allahabad Safeda, that was released from IIHR, Indian Institute of Horticulture Research, Asargatra, Bangalore. And IIHR also released the one more hybrid, that is hybrid 16-1, that was cross between apple color and Allahabad Sapeda. Then CISS G1 and CISS G2. So these two hybrids released from Central Institute for Subtropical Horticulture, Rahmankheda, Lucknow, and Isar Sapeda and Isar Surkha. These are also important hybrids. So both hybrids released from Chaudhry Charan Singh Haryana Agriculture University, Isar. Then propagation. So propagation of guava by seeds just to raise the root stocks, except that commercially guava is propagated by air layering or ground layering. So planting is done during monsoon season at a spacing of 6 meter into 6 meter. So in this one, pit size is 90 centimeter into 90 centimeter into 90 centimeter. So we can say this is the 90 centimeter wide, 90 centimeter length, and 90 centimeter deep. So this is the specific parameter of pit size. And from one plant to another plant and row to row is 6 meter into 6 meter. So after digging the pits, we have to leave open for some time to remove the field heat. After that, we have to do the refilling. So during the refilling, we have to use the topsoils plus 30 to 40 kilograms farmyard manure, dried leaves, and we can say the vermicompost, etc., plus 1 kilogram single super phosphate. After planting, they are supported by stakes. So for keeping the sapling stable, we need the stakes for staking purpose. And also the one more popular orchard establishment technique is meadow orchard system. So it is very popular. And what is in this? So in meadow orchard system is a new concept of Goa planting, which has been developed for the first time in India at Central Institute for Subtropical Horticulture, Lucknow. That was developed by Dr. Gorakh Singh, and the planting is done at 2 meter row to row distance and 1 meter plant to plant distance, which gives a density of 5,000 plants per hectare. So if we do the comparison between traditional planting system and meadow orcharding system of Goa, then you can see here in terms of the bearing, traditional system takes 2 years. So we can say the after 2 years of planting, fruit bearing will start in traditional system, but in meadow orchard from first year. In terms of the production, in traditional system, average yield is 12 to 20 tons per hectare, but in meadow orcharding system, 40 to 60 tons per hectare. In terms of the management, difficult to manage due to large tree size. In meadow orcharding system, it's very easy to manage due to small tree size. So very easy fruit harvesting as well as the other intercultural operations and also the spray of agrochemicals, etc. Then labor requirement in traditional system requires more labor and in meadow orcharding system less labor. Production cost in traditional system high and in meadow orchard is low. Harvesting is little difficult in traditional system, but in meadow orcharding is easy. Or in terms of the quality, large canopy, poor sunlight penetration, and poor quality of fruits. But in meadow orcharding, due to small canopy, better air and light penetration, minimum disease incidences, and high quality fruits and good colors. Irrigation. So when we will do the planting of new plants, then just after planting we have to do the watering. So we can see the immediately after planting, plants are watered. During summer and winter season, orchard is irrigated at an interval of 4 to 6 days in case of the summer, and in case of the winter season at 10 to 15 days interval. So in this one is very important. It will depend, irrigation will depend on the season. So in case of the summer, it's more frequently, and in winter, it's less. Other than that, in case of the rainy season, no need of watering, and also it will depend on the type of soils. In case of the clay soil, water holding capacity is very good, so it will require the less waterings. But in case of the sandy soils, water holding capacity is very poor, so it will need light and frequent watering. So various factors will affect the irrigation in Goa. Then manuring. So the trees should be provided with 25 kilogram farmyard manure that should be well decomposed, well rotted. So that much amount we can incorporate at the time of planting. And the fertilizer doses should be given based on the age of the plant. And following are the fertilizers recommended in major guava growing states of India. Fertilizers are applied in two splits, that is half of nitrogen and full of phosphorus and potassium during Bahar treatment, and remaining half of nitrogen 1.5 months after first application. So we can say nitrogen should be applied into split doses because nitrogen is highly volatile and leaching problems. So it's better to get the maximum benefit of nitrogen or maximum utilize of nitrogen nutrient from nitrogenous fertilizers. It's better we can apply in split doses because nitrogen is highly mobile, phosphorus is immobile, and potassium is partially mobile. Intercultural operations. So in intercultural operations, weed management is very important things. So the orchard should be kept always free from weeds because sometimes diseases, insect pest, they can hibernate in the weeds and they can damage the crop. So during rainy season, weeding is done periodically. Light harrowing can check the weeds effectively. So light harrowing, that is the mechanization or the mechanical control of weeds. The weed growth around the seedlings should be kept down and used as a mulch. So we can say nearby the seedlings or plants, we have to keep down the weeds. So we can cut the weeds or we can do the hoeing or weeding, manual weedings. And that uprooted weeds we can use as a organic mulch. So benefits of that organic mulch: conserve the moisture, regulate the soil temperature, and also suppress the weed growth. And after decomposition, it will release the organic plant nutrients. In terms of the intercropping, so guava plants we grow row. Already we mentioned row to row, 6 meter distance, and also in between plant to plant is 1 meter distance. So in between the plants, that is the interspace, so we can grow the vegetables as well as some leguminous crops like peas, cowpea, gram successfully can be grown as a intercrops, so we can get the additional benefits. Then bar treatment, there are three distinct flowering seasons with corresponding harvesting periods, many periods, rainy season, winter. So it is desirable to take only one crop in a year. So bar treatment is a practice of regulating crops to obtain better yield and quality of fruits in desired season. And this is achieved by following practices. So in Bahar treatment, number one is the withholding the irrigation. So if we are continuously, regularly applying the water so that moisture can fluctuate the flowering and fruit sets. So what we have to do for certain time period, we have to withhold the irrigation. no watering, no irrigation in that. So we have to check the irrigations or watering in that. So that will enhance the profuse flowering and better fruit set as well as the better quality fruits that will also increase the fruit size, etc. Second one, root exposure to hot sun before monsoon. So we can say the in case of the onset of monsoon, before that is the hot sun. So during that time we have to do digging around the tree canopy. So we have to open the roots for root exposure for hot sun. So in this plant will go in the resting stage or we can say dormancy. So we have to keep root exposures for few days. After that, we have to prepare the well mixture of the organic manures like well decomposed farmyard manure, vermicompost, and also we can use the oil cakes, bone meals, etc. So during the refilling of the trenches, we have to use all these organic manures as well as the fertilizers. Then we have to do watering or maybe during the monsoon season during rains. So after the taking rest, these plants will utilize the maximum plant nutrients and that will enhance the better flowering and better fruit set as well as the improving the quality of fruits. Then root pruning in winter season when we will open the roots. So some roots we can do the pruning and flower thinning. So in case of the too heavy flowering occurs in the guava, so we can do the flower thinning. So for flower thinning, we can do the manually by hands, or also we can use the certain chemicals like urea, high concentration of urea and potassium nitrate, etc. And also the spray of naphthalene acetic acid, 2,4-dichlorophenols acetic acid, and urea, etc. So these chemicals are also useful to improve the fruiting. So normally in guava, we observe the three important bahars, Ambe Bahar, Mrig Bahar and Ast Bahar. So in this one, Mrig Bahar is excellent. So normally farmers prefer to take the Mrig Bahar. Or in case of the Ambe Bahar, fruit quality is very poor. So what happens in these bahars? So number one is the Ambe Bahar. So in Ambe Bahar, flowering occurs during February and March, and fruit set occurs in July, August. Fruiting occurs in July, August. So July, August is rainy season fruits. So quality of fruits is very poor in this. It's watery, less sweeties, or sometimes maybe some insect pest incidences in fruits. Or in case of the Mrig Bahar, flowering occurs in June, July, I mean in rainy season, and fruiting occurs in November, December. So in this winter season, fruiting in Mrek Bahar, quality of fruits is excellent. So normally farmers prefer Mrek Bahars. Then Astbar, in Astbar, flowering occurs in October, November, and fruiting in February, March. So this Astbar fruits also in good quality, but yield is very low. So in terms of the quality, yield and other important parameters in Goa, Mrig Bahar is excellent. Then in terms of the pests and diseases, pests, so important pests of guava. Number one is the fruit fly. So Chitodecus species, Millibug, Fericia variegata, that is Planococcus citri, scale Pulvinaria cd, bark-eating caterpillars. So these are the important pests. In case of the fruit fly, they puncture the fruits and laying eggs within the fruits. After that, cover up that. So when these eggs hatched will turn in the larvae, then nymphs, then adults. So they can damage the fruits. Millibugs, white scaly. So in this we can control by soap waters, scale, bark eating caterpillars, etc. Then in terms of the diseases, wilt, fusarium wilt. So that was observed in 1935 in Uttar Pradesh. So this one is due to Fusarium solani and Massifomina facioli, Anthracnose, Gloeosporium cd, fruit canker, Pesta lotia cd, fruit rot, Phytophthora nicotiani variety paradisiaca, and Styler andro, Homopsis cidi, leaf spot, that is the Cercospora swadi. So these are the common diseases of guava. And these diseases, majority of diseases are fungal diseases. So fungal diseases we can control by spray of the fungicides like Bavistine, Captan, etc. Or in case of the fruit diseases, sorry, bacterial diseases like fruit cancers, we have to spray streptocycline or streptomycin, etc. Then physiological disorders. So actually physiological disorders are those, they occur due to the deficiency of micro or macronutrients, and sometimes due to temperature fluctuations. So we can say the most important physiological disorder of guava is bronzing. So in guava, bronzing, we can notice the symptoms like interveinal tissues of old leaves turn red to purplish red. So you can see in this image interveinal tissues of old leaves that turns red to purplish red in color. Terminal one or two pairs of leaves remain greens. So we can say in upper apex, terminal one or two pairs of leaves remains leaves, but in all leaves that will turn in red or purplish red in color. Causes, so bronzing in guava is due to region of deficiency of phosphorus, deficiency of potassium, and deficiency of zinc, and also multiple of these nutrients. So in terms of the control, follow good orchard management practices, adapting balanced nutrition. And we can see the in terms of the we discussed the different varieties of guava. So Allahabad Sapeda is free from this disorder. So we can say Allahabad Sapeda is excellent variety In terms of this is free from this bronzing physiological disorders. So we can grow the Allahabad Safeda variety. So in bronzing of guava, nutritional disorders, leaf turns yellow, and we can see the red to purplish red in color. So in control with just I mentioned the good orchard management practices and adopting balanced nutrition. So in this is better we can apply the 20 to 25 kilogram well rotten farmyard manure, 1 kilogram single super phosphate and zero point 0.5 kg or we can say the 500 gram muriate of potash and 100 gram of zinc sulfate. Then harvesting and yield. Harvesting guava fruits ripen gives months after flowering and they are harvested when the fruits turn greenish yellow color. So we can say guava fruits normally ripe in for 5 months of fruit sets or after flowering. So they are harvested because the immature guava fruits are dark green in color and very hard. So when these fruits will turn towards the maturity, so from dark green to it will turn in the yellowish green in color or light green in color and it will turn in soft. So ripening is associated with a change of skin color from green to yellow and guava trees with seed origin starts bearing when the trees are 4 to 5 years old. So while the vegetative propagated guava starts bearing at the age of 2 to 3 years, harvesting of guava needs extra care because the fruits has soft thin skin and it is normally harvested manually to avoid the physical injuries. So manual harvesting is excellent in case of the guava and also when guava fruits turns from greenish color to yellowish color and it will you can smell the some aroma in that. So during the color change we can do the harvesting because guava fruit is climacteric in nature. Climacteric fruits means they can ripe after harvesting. So all plants, these fruits can ripe. Except that guava fruits are perishable in nature. So we can say the storage life of guava fruits is also short. So we can harvest at proper stage and we can sell, otherwise we can store at proper temperature. Harvesting of guava needs extra care because the fruits has soft thin skin. So it is normally harvested manually to avoid physical injuries. Yield. So the average yield in India is about 9 tons per hectare. Only 9 tons per hectare, but it can be as high as 25 to 35 tons per hectare in Gangetic plains. So we can see the is very huge difference, big difference between 9 tons and 25 to 35 tons. So we can say this is the 3 to 4 times we can increase the yield in guava. So we can say the roughly a 10 years old guava plant yields about 1000 to 1500 fruits per year.